Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama Sisters, Season 7, Episode 6, Pretty Hurts. And so, before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all. And it'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Then I ask that you smash that like button, write a comment, join the conversation, and share because sharing is caring. So, now this episode starts off with the ladies are all up in Andy's penthouse, and it is Sabrina's 35th birthday. That's right. And, and Danny's like, wow, she's 35. She's getting up there. And Andy's like, we're all the same age. She's like, no, I'm younger than y'all. But anyway, everybody looks cute in their outfits. They really hooked Danny up this time, but I don't know what's going on. Is that her bra showing? Everything she wears now has that little opening there in the bosom. So I don't know if that's supposed to be her bra showing underneath. Somebody put it down in the comment section. Hit me up to what style that is, because I probably can't wear that at my age anyway. So now Andy wants to start a new tradition with them telling the birthday person things that they love about them. And everybody went around saying nice things. And, I don't know how Karen's was something about, I hope I be as loving as you are to my baby. The way she was saying it was like Sabrina was a mother, but I guess she has that caring spirit or something. That's what she was trying to get to, which was cool. Danny said something about how she has such natural beauty, and Andy said something about how she stood up for her friend because talking about Maurice, because anybody else wouldn't have done it for him. And, so it was things like that. So then Sabrina shared about, she got emotional and they was like, what's wrong? And it was about, because they mentioned being motherly and stuff. And she started telling them about Rich. And if he doesn't want to get on board, then she's going to have to move on. But she's going to do the IVF and have her eggs freeze. And Danny's asking, how does that go? Do you just take them out the freezer when you're ready? She's so silly, whatever. But she said it's a little bit more detailed and complicated than that. So Danny was like, how do you know you really want to have kids and be a mommy and all that stuff? And she's like, she preferred, to just be an auntie or godmother. And Andy was toasting like me too, and that they'd be happy just doing that. And at some point earlier, Karen had mentioned Zach asking for a DNA. And she said, I know that got Fatima written all over it. And Danny's like, do you think, is that a bad thing that they want to know? I mean, it doesn't hurt to know, instead of her saying, I'm the one who did it. So I have a problem with, Danny with that, because she didn't fess up and say, I'm the one that sent him or I'm the one that told him. And then she started talking about her therapy, what she's going through and what she's been working on at therapy. And Andy spoke about Jordan, and they seem to be the talk of the town, her being his first lady and him being running for this political office. So it was a nice little conversation they had. So then it was finally time for people to go. Danny had to go. Karen had to go. Andy said she had to go. She wanted to give, was it Sabrina a check? Sabrina didn't want to take it. I can't take no more of your money. She's like, no, you take it as a gift towards my new niece or nephew, whatever. And she's like, okay, fine. But for some reason, I guess Danny was drunk because Karen had to drive her home. And Karen's like, I guess I'm going to get some experience babysitting right now. Anyway, then they switched over to Gary and who was it? Hayden at the gym. And Gary was nose started bleeding. Hayden's like, you okay? What's going on with that? Nah, it just happens sometimes. And he said he needs his help with something. He said, nope, I'm not getting involved in none of that illegal stuff. The last time I helped you, the feds was at my door. He said, it ain't nothing like that. So he's like, okay, well then let's toss some things around. And, why don't you come by my house tonight for dinner? He said, because me and Tamara were talking. He's like, you still trying to get with that gold digger? He said, look, I got more important things to worry about, like beating your girl and to make partners. I've been busting my behind trying to make partner. And Gary's telling him, you're a better lawyer than she is anyway. First of all, there's two different type of lawyers. He's a tax attorney and she's a divorce attorney. So how do you even compare that? Anywho, Then it switches over to the hair salon, and Pam is online. Well, she got one of her clients, and she's doing a live talking about her hair care product and how she got the girls' edges laid down and stuff. And the girl's like, "Hey," she said, "let me see how many people I got." And she had like 3,000 people watching her. She's like, "See, I told you I'm about to blow up." So now we have Sabrina showing up to Maurice's apartment. And I don't know why she does that. She comes in there and starts acting like ill, like she don't want to touch anything, like he's disgusting or something. And I'm like, stop doing that. Stop coming to his house if you don't want to touch anything. You know what I mean? So he ended up singing happy birthday to her, and he did a little song or whatever. And she asked about Calvin, thought he would at least text her for her birthday or send her a message. And he's like, "Why you worried about Calvin? You got that fine chocolate man and everything." And she's like, "Well, he doesn't want to have kids, and I do, and I'm going to freeze my eggs." And he's like, "Oh, is that when you put he said like a ice baby? Is that what that is? Ice baby?" That's Vanilla Ice song. She said, "I'm being serious." He said, "Well, can you make the baby look the way you want?" I say a little dark chocolate baby with some blue eyes. That would be nice. And she's like, "You know what, Maurice? I have to go now." Because she wanted one of the cupcakes that he had. He said, "Baby, you don't want that. It's full of nuts." And she was like, "Oh, like pecans and pecans." And she's like, "No, baby, you don't want any of those. You go on." He said, "I'll talk to you later." She left. I said, "What kind of nuts was in there? His nuts?" So now we over at the law firm, and I'm telling you, I got emotional here because we see Zach's face, and he got his son. He got little Michael, and he was like, his voice is cracking, and he was like telling Fatima he don't know how he did it without her. And I got tears running down my eyes. He was like, "I could have never done it without you." And she's like, "That's okay." He said, "I'm gonna be a great father, and you're gonna be a great mother." And he was like, "And Andy, thank you so much, for helping." And Fatima's like, "Yeah, Andy, like you laid this case out so well. I've never seen you do. You just was great." She said, "I hope to one day be as half the attorney you are." She said, "I keep telling you, Fatima, you're gonna be better." She said, "I hope so." But in the meantime, when all that was going on, Fatima got a text message, and she looked at it, and her expression and everything changed, and they're like, "Are you all right?" She said, "Oh, no, no, I'm fine," and everything else. And so Zach is like, okay. He kept calling her mom, and she's calling him dad, and he's like, "Could you go get some of those little juice boxes on the way, home? I like those little sippy things. And when can I get my son?" He's asking Andy, and she's like, "In a few days it should be. I just need you to sign this paper." And he was like so excited, and he left, and he left out, said bye. Andy left out, said bye. And Fatima's sitting there looking at her cell phone, and we're like, "What is going on?" Because all we hear her say is, "This couldn't be happening at the worst time." So now over to the airport. Danny comes in drunk, different outfit on. God, don't look like she have anything under that yellow outfit but a black bra or something. And she's coming over there, and you can see Tony is looking like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "I came over to check on you," and blah, blah, blah. And she starts opening up her jacket while he's sitting on the desk about to, wrap him around him. She done pulled her jacket off, and all of a sudden these two little kids come running there. She's like, what is going on? Somebody need to be fired with their kids running around like this. And he was like, "Oh, Danny, these are my kids." And she's like, What? And the little girl's like, "Where's your clothes?" And the boy's like, "Are those real?" I said, "Oh my God." She was like, uh, "Thank you." She said, "You look pretty." But she did say, "Where's her clothes?" And she said, "Thank you." And she told the boy, "Yes, they are." And so he told them to go out and see Miss Somebody, get some snacks, give me a minute. And she was like, "What's up? You didn't think that this would be useful information?" He said, "Yeah, the mother needs me to step in, and I'm having them for the summer." He said, "I was going to tell you at lunch. You were supposed to be at work." First of all, that's still last minute. You knew them kids was coming before then. You knew they were coming before then. So still, Tony, you should have been told her, not the day that they there and arriving, okay? She said, "Because what does this have to do? How does this affect our future?" She said, "You said you had kids that weren't live-in kids, so meaning they stay with their mother." So we'll see how that works. But she ended up leaving and going home, and he felt kind of strange. He was like, "Damn, like I messed up." "Yeah, you did kind of, Tony. You messed up." But it was funny when Danny was leaving. She said, "Did that boy asked me, is my titties real? And he's like, yeah. She said, oh, you're raising them right. You're really raising them right. Good job, Dad. So now back over at the salon, Pam got a line out the door. People buying some of her R&R. Was it Roots to Riches or something like that? And Karen come in, want to know what's going on. And she tells her what it is. And she's like, did you ever even have a license for this? Did you use my credit card to get this? She's like, look, it's an investment. We rich, bitch. Don't worry about it. You look stressed, you know? And Trey come over. Okay, Pam, you're set. He's signing papers, like I guess for her delivery or something, because she need more product coming in. She said she got like 300 orders in 1 hour. And Pam and Karen is like, what? She can't believe it. So she was like, what is in this? This better not be no bootleg stuff, you know. Anyway, Trey tells her she looks nice and she's like, thank you. He said something about lucky father to be, and Karen got cool with him and stuff. I guess she didn't like that comment. And he's like, did I say anything wrong? And she's like, no, thank you. I'm sure you got other deliveries to make. And he was like, okay. So he bounced. And Pam told Karen, stop worrying. She got everything under control. And Karen's like, fine. And just walked away. So now we got Andy. She always knows when something's wrong with Fatima. She comes into her office and asks her what's going on. And she said, nothing. I'm so excited. She said, you just got this great news and you acting like something's wrong. And she said, well, I just got accepted into law school. And Andy was so thrilled and excited for her and telling her this is great news. And Fatima was excited too, you know. And she's like, you got to let Zach know. She's like, well, you see, he already got me barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. She said, I see, but y'all will work it out. She said, that's the thing. We always got to try to work it out. She said, you know, and she was like, just tell him this is wonderful news. But I forgot that funny part when they was in the conference room and Zach is excited that he got his son and he's like, oh, Fatima, we're going to have to trade in your car for a minivan. She said, baby, you're going a bit too far now. I said, Zach, look, he ain't trading his car. It's your child. So you trade in your car. He's so funny. But Andy had a good point. Before she left Fatima's office, she told her, she said, let Zach know he's going to be very proud of you. And this will give him a chance to be there for you for once. And she was like, you're right. And I agree with her 100%. So as Andy's walking down the hallway, she runs into Hayden. And he's letting her know, you know, if I had been representing Heather, they would have lost. Why do you want to be so mean and cold-hearted about somebody getting their child? It just made no sense that he would be that way. He obviously didn't get enough love when he was a child or get hugged enough or something or told that I love you or something's wrong with Hayden. Anyway, he said, I need to go. I got some more important cases to win. Well, all you have to do is go and stand next to a man. Basically talking about standing with Jordan. He's jealous. So Andy gets on the phone and she calls Jordan. I guess she let Hayden get under her skin and she tells him that she can't come. And he's like, that's okay. She said, I have this case that I need to work on. He said, oh, good luck with that case, because she told him about it. He said, I'm a big boy. I'll be fine. He said, I think you'll do great on it. And I was like, boy, she let Hayden get under her skin real quick, didn't she? Put it down in the comment section what y'all thought about that. That was a quick turnaround. She was going over to the campaign to stand with her man. And next thing, I better work on this case. Basically, if I want to get that partner, she going to have to. So anyway, we switch over to Fatima and Zach's house. And he is losing his mind. He got the whole living room and kitchen area with toys and baby stuff. She's like, what are you doing? What did you do to my living room? He said, I thought you wanted him to feel more comfortable, Michael. He said, he got his own room up there. Yeah, but I didn't think you would want him to have up in the room. I said, boy, you done lost your damn mind. She said, where's my office set up? Where's my desktop? Put my stuff back. It's just temporary. It's temporary. He drinking out of sippy the juice boxes and everything. And I got something for you, and it's a baby on board. Like, I wish I would put that in my expensive daggone car. You better go get your minivan and use that and put it in there. And that's what we will use to drive Michael around. It ain't gonna be my car. Maybe you want it to be your car, but that's that. So here she is, got on her law school stuff, sweatshirt. She trying to give him this good news that she got. He ain't even hearing her because he's so excited about this daddy stuff. Talking about, oh, I got to run. He got this call from Bryce. we haven't heard his name in a while. Want her to look at a property. She said it's almost it's the middle of the night. You want to go look at a property? He said, I know I sound, but let me just go there. And by the time I get back, dinner should be finished. She said, who said I'm cooking dinner? He said, somebody got to be starting with these organic meals to be cooked. She was like, you done lost your damn mind. And he slapped her on the butt and said, I'll be right back. And she's like, let me call a girlfriend because I need help. So she calls on Angela. Meanwhile, over at the Moss household, that would be Hayden Moss, he's there talking to Tamara, and they seem to be working things out. He comes in the house, and the house is smelling good, and she's looking nice, and she done cooked and everything. And, they have a quick little conversation about, I told you I'm going to show you my love and prove to you I do love you. Yes, it started off with a lie, but it's not that way now. And he said, okay, don't make me regret it. He said, but you look like you can be a housewife. But the truth is, she wanted to work. So I don't know what happened. She actually wanted to work at one point. So then somebody knocks at the door, and it's Gary and Penelope. And she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, that's how you greet your guests. But I never saw them introduce the ladies, so I didn't know how they knew each other, if they had met once before. If anybody knows, put it down in the comment section. But it seemed like they should have did introductions. You know what I mean? So Gary's like, well, we got the drink. And Tamara's like, Penelope, you need anything? He said, so you just going to ignore me and stuff? And she was like, yeah, you could take a load off. She's like, I'll just take water, So Gary told her to have a seat. And he and Hayden started talking. And Hayden's like, you really gonna roll up in here like everything is good with you and Penelope? And he said, yeah, everything's good. It couldn't be better. And so then Hayden started talking about the case with Heather and how Andy won it. And Gary's like, anybody could have won that case. He's like, please, she's a stripper with a drug problem. He's like, what you need is a big fish, somebody who's newsworthy, so he's like, I don't know what you're doing, but I can't be doing no illegal stuff. He was like, nope, it's not that. You're going to want this case. Let me go get a drink first. Meanwhile, back at the Taylor house, Fatima on the floor coloring. She's staining the lines, and Angela shows up, and she was like, who taught us to color in the lines? And she said, oh, Miss such and such in kindergarten. She's like, why? So she's talking to her about winning the case and how she got into law school. And she's like, that's great. And how Zach got custody of this child. And she's like, oh, that's cool. That explains the decor around here, because it's like kid stuff everywhere. So then Fatima started feeling like a jerk, saying, how could she be thinking about herself at a time like this? And she's like, you worked really hard to help Zach get his kids. Now it's your turn. Come on. She said, but now I got one baby. And what if Karen's big child is his? Now I got 2 baby mamas in 1 year. She said, I want to have my own kids one day. And she said she don't want to lose herself or her dreams in all of this. She always wanted to be a successful attorney and travel the world with her man. And Angela's like, and your best friend, And Angela was like, well, look at it this way. You get the kids now, and then you get to keep that slamming body you got. And she's like, no, I want my own kids. You know what I mean? But I understand what she was saying. So Angela is telling her to do her thing. Look outside the box, draw outside the box. And she started scribbling outside the box, do you. And then her phone rings. It's Andy. Andy needs her. She's like, see, now at a time like this, what do we do? Who gets to go? Do I get to leave for my job, or does Zach get to go? So she has valid points and things that's going on, but hopefully, prayerfully, her and Zach could work this out. Meanwhile, we got Karen showing up at a doctor's office or hospital looking for Dr. Stone. He's not there, so they said the on-call doctor could see her. And then she sits down with this doctor, and she's explaining to her. She's in an exam room, so she's explaining to her she wanted to do an amniocentesis. She heard that she can do that, and it'll help her find out who her baby's daddy is or something, because she had the dates all mixed up with the other test that she had, and she just needs to know finally who is her child's father. Meanwhile, back at the Moss household, they're all sitting down to eat dinner, and Tamara asks Penelope a question, and Gary answers. She's like, look, she can't answer for herself, So Penelope answers for herself or whatever it is. And then Gary gets a phone call, has to step away while he's on the phone doing something shady against Jordan, because that's what it is. Meanwhile, he's acting like to Hayden like he's not doing anything, that he's on the up and up and he don't have time to worry about Jordan. But I should have known he still had something up his sleeve going on. So then all of a sudden Penelope's like she have a pain or something. She's like, can I go to your bathroom? So Hayden takes her to the bathroom. Then Gary comes back and starts trying to bother Tamara. And Tamara's like, get out of my face. Because he's like, I know girls like you and stuff. And you know, gold digging, slick this and that. She said, look, we together, ain't nothing you could do about it. You know. And she's like, just get out of my face. And he stands up like he ain't moving. I said, I know he don't try that mess with Fatima. Because he's scared of Fatima. Now he's trying to intimidate Tamara. Really, Gary? But what was strange is when they were sitting at the table, the four of them together, and Penelope says, oh, Hayden, you know, she did mention earlier that she's glad that things were good between them now, and that she said she was surprised that we were invited to come over. That she said something like that. But anyway, at the table, she goes, oh, Gary said that he's going to try to help you become partner. She said, I think that's great. And then Gary had the nerve to say, oh, yeah, it was my idea. And Hayden's looking at him like, what, dude? I'm like, why would you even lie about that? That made no sense for him to even lie about something that small. So then it's ending with Danny is writing in her journal. I guess the therapist told her to write in the journal to herself. And she's writing in the journal to herself. And as she's writing and talking it out, you see, I don't know who she was looking at a picture of, though. She was looking at a picture of somebody, and she did call Andy first, but Andy's went to voicemail. And so as Danny's writing in the journal, they're showing Sabrina, and Sabrina is reading up on freezing her eggs, the pros and the cons of the process of frozen egg extraction or something like that. But then what we hear Danny writing is, I just want somebody to choose me, love me, all of me, you know. And as she's saying that, they're showing Sabrina too. And I'm like, I guess they're going through the same kind of things in their life. She's saying no ultimatums, no lies. And then they're showing Fatima at the job helping Andy. And they're showing Karen at the doctor's office or hospital with the doctor. And it's just really a deep moving ending. I like this ending. And one of the last things that Danny said is, if I have to do it alone, I choose me, a stronger me, a better me, a strong queen. And I was like, all right now, girl. And then I thought that was the ending. And the next thing I know, I see Gary still up in freaking Tamara's face. And she stood up and said, dude, I know stuff on you too. You sitting there acting like you this family man when you still want Andy. I could see it in your eyes. And then Gary went and kissed her, and she kissed him back. I said, what the hairy hootie heck is going on here? And he talking about, I like bad girls. And then the next thing you know, Hayden comes out. I don't know if he caught that or not. I said, what is going on here? Anyhow, that's how it ended. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.